the question really for me is the Monkees show based on Hard Day's Night, or is it based on Help? And I would say it's more akin to Help.
It is.
Where they all live together in one big house.
Yeah.
And it's in color. And it's a little zanier.
Well, it's a little wackier, yeah.
Not that Hard Day's Night isn't.
Right.
There's some real surreal moments, but more...
It has more of a documentary feel about it, I think, the way it's shot.
And the Monkees does not, absolutely does
definitely
not even for a second.
Well, neither does Help.
They play songs every week, and I think in the first season in particular, they'll go and do gigs a lot.
Yeah.
And you don't ever think you're at a gig. It doesn't look any different. It's just stood up a really badly, like a really tiny stage.
Yeah.
And Mickey's got a drum set.
Well, I'm sure they spent as little as possible.
Yeah,
that's true. They was shot at Screen Gems, and they had the whole scene doc. You'll see pieces of sets, like when they're in a haunted house, pieces of sets from some of the Corman pictures.
Nice.
So I always like those. I like that.
That's when it becomes zanier in the second season. Yeah, it just goes off the rails.
I don't think it goes off the rails at all. I think it's great.
Well, in a good way.
Yeah.
But I also think it's not as easily watchable as the first season, for me personally.
Really?
Maybe I need to revisit it.
Really? Because I always prefer the second season, I think.
Well,
they found their
footing.
Is
I feel like the best episodes are probably in the second season.
Yeah.
Like the one you were just talking about is the Frankenstein one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you agree it's more of a Help than a Hard Day's Night.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And what prompted this question?
I was just thinking about it because I probably heard it on a podcast. There was a guy that actually put forth the theory that it's more Help. And one of the things he says about it is the first season of the Monkees, I'm sorry, not the first season, the pilot, had a manager.
Yeah.
And they cut the manager out, and it made the show immensely better.
Yes.
And that's more like Help. You don't really get a feeling of a manager, whereas Hard Day's Night, the manager's
one of the main
big
characters.
character. Yeah. That's it.
All right.
And I thought that would get us past those first 3 seconds.
Perfect.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of the Son of Frankenstein.
This one is probably just as bad as his father. Good morning, son.
Well, hello.
My son, you have inherited the fortune of the Frankensteins. I trust you will not inherit their fate.
By heaven, I think you're a worse fiend than your father. What are you going to do about it? There's a monster afoot and you know it.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to the podcast Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute by minute by minute.
I'm
Bill on the podcast. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm Bill Evenson.
And on that very same podcast, I'm Tom Lang.
That's right, on the podcast.
On the podcast. And for this podcast, you join us for minute 89 of 1939's Son of Frankenstein.
This isn't the Monkees one, then?
No.
This is the Frankenstein one.
I hope you didn't prepare your notes for the Monkees.
I got all kinds of Monkees notes.
No, I could do the Monkees without notes if you want.
When you watched it as a kid, who was your favorite monkey as a kid?
Mike.
Interesting. Okay.
Always
mine was Mickey.
Mickey was a very close second.
Yeah. So we had the same two favorites.
Yeah, they were always...
So that's what's funny is when we went to see them live...
It was Mike and Mickey.
It was Mike and Mickey, and sadly, I truly believe it was the best show because finally they got rid of Peter and Davy. I mean, I don't want them dead, but the Monkees played in a lot of different twosomes,
combinations,
to be honest. There was Mickey and Davy
did an album
extensively.
Well, they did an album, which is terrible.
At least one.
I think they just did
you're talking about the one... Oh, I'm sorry.
Changes.
Yes, you're right. They did the one that said the Monkees on it. Yes, that was just the two of them. But they also did that Dolan's Heart voice and whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the Frankensteins, if you like.
Meanwhile, over at the Frankenstein place, Wolf has just asked permission from Krog to go to the lab to find Igor and kick him off the estate. Yep. Krog said yes in the last minute and finishes his thought with, if you like.
Yeah. So I hinted about this last week, and I kind of didn't want to talk about it too much because I knew it was...
I know where you're going, but
it's more this week. Krog doesn't have this planned. This is a surprise to him, and his reaction is last week. But yes, if you like, that's a great idea, even though you're fucking under arrest.
Yeah, you just go running off.
And you said what you were going to do, and I trust you. That's probably fine. I can't imagine you're much of a flight risk. Yeah. Sadly, that's true. I think we all know Wolf's not much of a flight risk.
I don't think so.
He'll get his belongings on the stick with the thing on the end of it. The hobo thing, and he'll get on the train and start crying until someone throws him off the train, and he'll come walking back, trudging back. He lost a shoe. He's got one long sock, you know what I mean?
He's hanging off.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. And Krog's at the door. Go ahead.
Do you know that there's a difference? There's a difference between a hobo, a tramp, and a bum.
Oh, this is perfect.
I don't know what they are, but there is a difference.
Okay, a hobo, a tramp, and a bum. Well, a hobo to me implies travel.
Travel, yeah, I think.
And a tramp and a bum, to me, hobo has a romantic feel to it.
Yeah.
Tramp and bum are just insulting, but the little tramp is obviously dear to my heart.
Yes.
If you like. So he didn't have this plan. What was his plan? So was he going to arrest Wolf and then search the castle? Or was he going to arrest Wolf, then use that as a pretense to get a warrant to search the castle? He's already searched the laboratory.
Well, he's kind of
without his permission.
He searched the castle a little bit because he was poking around Peter's room.
This is what he's, thank you. Good segue.
Yeah.
Now that's his whole, I was going to say modus operandi, but that doesn't really apply here. That's his whole
motive
point.
For letting Wolf go, yeah.
Wolf, throw those darts down on the table. You laughed when we were watching the
Well, you did too.
It is kind of funny.
Because he just throws the darts and runs out of there.
Which is perfectly appropriate, but I'm not even sure why that's funny. It's just the way he does it.
But it is
Because he's
funny.
a little fruity the way he does stuff. Is fruity, I feel like it's probably a bad word to use. I don't mean it in any way derogatory. Towards...
Keep going. Keep digging.
The blacks.
yeah. Fruity. Yeah. I mean...
Podcast is canceled. Well, how far did we get? We got to February 21st?
24th of March.
Okay. March? No.
No, it's...
What day is it? What year is it? Today's date is February...
God, I don't even...
think. Oh, that's right. I keep getting confused with your surgery. So I keep doing it February 7th, 14th. So it is like the 24th. Yeah, I'm back from LA now and in the freezing cold with everyone else. Checking in on you.
Oh, good.
Sure
Thank you.
Bringing soup.
Bring me a little something from LA.
Okay. All right. Done. Yeah.
There's that one shop on Hollywood Boulevard that has the complete Creature from the Black Lagoon. That'd make a really good get well gift.
Make sure you send me your size.
Okay,
I assume they can size it. Maybe I'll have it tailored.
Yeah.
Krog straightens his arm out. Wolf is taken off.
I'm not sure what Krog's motive was prior to that, but now it's like, okay, it gives him opportunity to search the castle unencumbered, and it also, maybe he's hoping that Wolf and Igor will just kill each other. Then gets those two idiots off his hair. I'm joking, of course.
You are, but I think
there might be something
that's got to be
it.
part of the thought process. Not that they'd kill each other, but that it can't hurt.
Something will come of it.
To have these guys go and play.
Yeah. You kids go outside.
You kids go outside and play. It's nice out.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that Mystery Science Theater episode where it's like in the sci-fi era where it's Mike and the bots and Mary Jo Peele and Bridget Nelson appear on the screen. They're driving like a minivan.
Moms,
moms.
Yeah.
I remember that. I've always remembered.
Well, because they're Amazons.
Oh, that's right. They're Amazons. I'd forgotten that part. Because to me, the thing that stands out is at some point, and that this rarely comes up, of course, but at some point Mike says, "Hey, do you think maybe you could give us a ride back to Earth?" And Mary Jo Peele says, "No, you kids can walk." And the other one says, "It's nice out. Yeah, you can walk. It's nice out." Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, Wolf does like we said, because he runs out of there.
Wolf does
tosses down the darts and bolts out of the room.
Yep.
Krog ratchets his arm and takes a look at Benson's watch.
Yeah, he straightens his arm out, digs in his pocket, produces the watch, and it's a little bit too long. Too long. Yeah, he stops and frantically digs in his pocket to pull out this watch so he can look at it.
I think it's solely for our benefit, not his.
I believe that you're right, but the only thing I can think is he's got a watch in his pocket and he pulls it out of his pocket to make sure that is the right watch. It's the best I could do.
Yeah, okay.
Or that it sparks his memory like, oh, that's right. I knew I had something in my pocket. What was I going to do? The watch.
I don't think that's it.
I'm trying anything
totally for our benefit. Like, oh yeah, he has that watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A watch?
Yep.
He gave me a watch.
Yes.
Yes. Don't do that again.
Did I use that enough?
No, it's fine. Barsky seemed to get a kick out of it. All right, so then what happens?
Lap
Smarty
dissolves.
pants. Oh, lap dissolve.
been a while. It's been a while.
Hallelujah. Hey, there's the, sorry to point at stuff,
Yeah,
but
no,
there's the
what are
creature
you-
from the Black Lagoon right there, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
there it
realize he was almost as tall as Godzilla, at least on
Yeah,
your shelf.
you don't really get that impression watching the movies,
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently in real life they were pretty close in height.
So all the characters in The Creature from the Black Lagoon are as
giants.
tall as Godzilla.
150 feet
I didn't
tall.
know.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that with that in mind.
Yeah, you
Did
might
you ever see
enjoy
the
it.
Mystery Science Theater episode, War of the Colossal Beast?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
It came out on VHS. I have it, I think.
Oh, I probably have it over there, yeah.
Or maybe on DVD, and then they pulled it. But I love the scene where the sister is looking for Glenn, and somebody says, well, there's some reports of a 50-foot tall man doing whatever. And then Crow's like, well, Glenn was 50 feet tall. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just doing Mystery Science Theater jokes.
That's all right. That's all right. Usually they're pretty good.
All right.
Krog goes a-creeping into Peter's room,
Where's Peter?
having hot chocolate still. He's still glugging it. He can't get enough of that. He's just by the gallon.
So wait, are you serious?
I don't know.
Because Krog left when they started the hot chocolate.
Yeah, no, I don't know where Peter is.
Okay.
I honestly don't really care.
Peter and...
He's not in this
We're
scene.
just glad,
We're just glad he's
there.
not here.
Over here. Okay.
Oh,
Knock on the
yes.
wall.
Yes.
But Peter had said that Frankenstein came in through the wall, or a giant came
over
in through
there.
the wall.
Over there.
Yeah, over there.
So-
He gestured.
Krog enters the room. There's no music, so we hear weird thudding sounds in the background as he's entering the room and looking around.
Okay.
You heard it too, or
No,
did
I have
not
no idea what
notice?
you're talking
Yeah, there's
about.
background noises.
It's not just him stepping on
It might
the
be.
stage.
It might be.
Interesting. What do you think it is? Just it's a
Yeah, I
mistake?
think it's just it's just the.
There's no reason for it.
No, it was just the live track that they recorded.
So
on
it's not a
set.
situation where Krog comes in the door and Frankenstein was about ready to come in the passageway and he turns and runs.
He's like, oh shit.
boom, 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 boom.
Maybe. Okay, there.
There
I
you
like
go.
that.
It's
Now
Frankenstein's
it's
running away.
canonical.
Oh shit!
I like Bad man comes.
Fire!
Oh, that guy.
I don't know.
That guy hates me. I ripped his fucking arm. I ripped his
Yeah, that's
arm
right.
out.
I
You
remember
see-
that arm.
God, I better get out of here.
I still have the arm. I don't want him to find the arm. It's my favorite special arm.
It's goes back to Apocalypse Now. Pile of
that's
little,
right, the pile of arms.
Pile of little arms.
And no watches,
So then he walks over to the wall over there.
which takes a while. He goes around the bed.
Yeah, and there's no music again, so this plays kind of awkwardly or
Yeah.
just seems really slow.
Right.
Because I think some dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing,
Might
sure.
have helped a little bit.
Yeah.
Salter and
Skinner?
went out and had a cigarette while this scene was being
No
edited.
doubt. No doubt.
And he knocks on various surfaces of the wall till he finds one that sounds hollow.
Yeah, he knocks on the wall. There's like a corner
Yeah.
that he goes to, and on the right side he knocks, and it has one sound, and then he knocks on the left side, and it's got a different sound. So then he deploys his special
His special knocking arm.
his special knocking arm. Yeah. He knocks with his hand, and then he deploys his precision instrument,
Precision, yes.
which is his fake hand.
Fake. Well, because he could probably.
But he
pound,
really does. He kind of
he-
pulls it up, and it's something that he can then.
Yeah, I think he can pound harder on it without hurting his hand.
I like it. Sure. I mean, my thing is, so this is a trope of these types of movies that you knock on the wall until you find the
Find the
spot
hollow
that
one.
feels hollow, and then that's where the secret passageway is.
Sure.
So yeah, why not use your
Yeah, use your pounding arm.
knocking hand?
Yeah.
So he starts
so
to do
he's-
this, and that's all we see.
Yeah,
and
he
then
starts-
he's lap dissolved.
Yeah, the lap dissolves. You're correct. Wolf cautiously approaching the lab. Now the music is back.
Yeah, it's true.
I just don't know why there wasn't music in the previous scene because it helps here for sure.
Okay.
Wolf entering the lab. He goes to the door.
I would tend to argue on this one. The first one does make more sense if you're going to choose. Say you're going to choose one to not have music. You don't have to choose. That's the problem.
Right.
But in the first one, it's a little bit more obvious what the stakes are and what's going on.
True,
Whereas
but-
when you cut to Wolf just walking up to a door, you're kind of like, maybe you need a little. I don't know. I guess you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I
But I
suppose
think the suspense is already there because we've had the build up
Yeah.
with Krog. Whereas I'm not sure Wolf running to kick Igor off the estate really needs, or maybe it does need
it
something.
does need something.
Yeah.
I think because it doesn't.
So this
have
is an
the-
interesting shot. I don't think we've been this close before, and if we have, then I'm forgotten.
I think briefly.
Okay.
Wolf
So
walking up to
the
it.
thing I notice about it is there's a big block So there's this sort of path that everybody follows.
Yeah, it kind of goes left and then jags to the right, and then
that's the one. Yeah, and then it goes in the door. And to the right of that path there's a big block that I hadn't really thought about before. Is this just because they blew the roof off the place? It's just another block that fell off?
Piece of the building that fell off.
Because blocks will fall off at the beginning of next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those.
Yes, one of those. Yep. We have the trilling sound of the string section.
Yeah. There's
which is nice.
Important stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, it's a great soundtrack. I think we've
I prefer Bride, but yes, it is a good score.
Like I said, I really feel like it's doing something different than what Bride's doing.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it has
so
to
I wouldn't
work.
want to compare it to Bride generally.
No,
I think they're both great.
It has to work harder than Bride does.
Because the movie's not as good? So you're saying,
That's what I'm saying. Well, it's
you and Tom Weaver.
It's just got, it's just got more to do.
Tom Weaver's an asshole. So are you.
That'll get him on the.
Fuck you.
That'll get him on as a guest. And Igor must have known he was coming or something, because he's lurking around with a hammer ready to pounce.
Why does Igor arm himself?
Yeah, he's already set for him to show up.
Yeah.
Plus he saw him coming.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. So what we see is he comes in that door, which we know that door from the outside doesn't get you all the way to where the lab is.
Yeah.
Because we see another door.
Right.
So maybe Igor sees him come in that door. There's any number of ways he could do that. He could be on the roof, I guess. Or, well, there isn't one, but on the top. Or,
and he's holding a blacksmith's hammer.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not
so like when you're doing, making like shoe horses.
Okay, so it's for that purpose of... Because it doesn't look like... What did you say?
I said shoe horses.
Shoe horses?
Horseshoes.
You're thinking of, what are the fish called?
Seahorse?
Seahorses.
Horse feathers? I don't know.
You know what I got lost in is when you would buy those in the comic books.
Sea monkeys?
Sea monkeys. Are sea monkeys just seahorses?
They're brine shrimp, I believe.
Oh, that's right. They're brine shrimp. Now I remember. I don't think I ever got... Did you ever get any?
I got them, and they don't do shit, and like they're supposed to do all these tricks. And yeah, they're alive. I don't know if they're like flash frozen or freeze dried or whatever, but I
think they were freeze dried.
You put them in the water with the packet of stuff,
and they come to life.
Yeah, they're little tiny things, and they just kind of swarm around. And the ads, first of all, they're like anthropomorphized fish people.
Yeah, it's a whole family.
Yeah, and you can teach them tricks and this and that. Like, well, I don't even think they have a brain. Yeah, it was very disappointing.
It's like a flea circus,
basically.
Although
even less entertaining.
I guess only in the sense like you're talking about. You could teach a flea circus how to do tricks, because anybody who knows, I assume everyone knows, there are no actual fleas. That's not the point of a flea circus. Right. Where in this case, it's like the opposite.
It's exactly.
You've lost. It's like a flea circus with just fleas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I knocked over the fishbowl by accident, I wasn't...
you just cleaned up the mess and put the fishbowl away.
And that was
that. Chucked it in the trash.
He's lurking in the lab late one night.
Yeah.
His eyes beheld an eerie sight of Wolf coming up the
confirm the sight of Wolf. Okay, can we keep going? Can we keep this? No.
Keep the Monster Mash lyrics going? Yeah, no, I think that's about all I got. He's got a hammer at the ready. Wolf enters brandishing a gun.
Yeah.
Igor hides behind one of those sort of diagonal big beams.
The Murders in the Rue Morgue beams.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they repurposed those.
I didn't think of it until I said it, but it really does look like
pull it out of the scene doc, because they keep
instead of an X, so it's a big X in that movie where he hangs. If you haven't seen Murders in the Rue Morgue, I totally recommend it. It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
But there are some great
visuals, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one that stands out to me.
Is Arlene Francis hanging off the X.
Yeah, like she's crucified.
Well, Mank makes a big deal about it being an inverted cross, and to me it just looks like an X.
Well, I would say only in that there's a person on it.
Person is hanging on it, so fine.
Absolutely. Those scenes are tremendous. That scene, it's not a lot of the movie, unfortunately, sadly. But absolutely, it could be those same beams.
And you get to see some of Bela Lugosi's most egregious overacting.
Yep, it's not a highlight.
Yeah,
it's not his highlight reel.
Well, maybe in his mind it might be, but
that's true. There's a temptation at least to assume that Bela Lugosi thought every single movie he made was roughly about the same.
Yeah,
and that he was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolf creeps around the lab, gun at the ready. There we go.
Okay, so we end on a cliffhanger, in my opinion. I think this is a pretty great cliffhanger for next week. We don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Will Wolf kick? Maybe I should read this in. What was it? Who's the soap soap guy. Who does the soap?
I don't know
ones?
I don't know.
Will Wolf kick Igor off the estate?
I'll put the music underneath this.
Will Igor once again use his great persuasive skills to explain everything and get off scot-free? I didn't write this thinking I was going to read it, apparently. Will Igor kick Wolf off the estate? Okay. See, at this point, I think both are equally viable. Igor did tell Wolf to leave.
Get out of there.
Fuck you, I live here. This is my house, you leave.
He's got squatter's rights.
He's got squatter's rights. Whether or not he has them, he thinks he does, and he certainly acts like he does.
He acts like he does. He acts like he owns the place.
Fucking acts like he owns the place. Son of a bitch.
Fucker.
So yes, that's the cliffhanger.
Okay. Tune in next week. Same Franken time, same Franken podcast. How was that? Was that pretty bad? Or
no. Here's what I love about
cute?
it. And to be honest, I think we should maybe do it every week going forward.
All right.
Is Franken sounds like fucking. So when you were saying it, you were like, same Franken podcast. Don't be crude. All right.
This is a family show. So.
Yeah, well, it's marked explicit, so if your fucking kids are in the car, that's your
goddamn
fucking
kids
problem.
listen to it, fuck you.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Do we have one here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I have one. I'm ready, if you are.
Oh, always.
It's not, now that I look at it, let's see.
It's not very good?
It's not a very good one.
Okay.
It doesn't ask a question.
Oh, well, but we've had comments that we've actually found enlightening and entertaining.
Yeah, I don't
this
know.
may not be one.
This might not be one of them.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad comment. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't, it's not enlightening in any way.
Okay.
That's also very small, so I'm going to take off my glasses so you can see what I look like.
So I can see?
So you can see without what I look like without my glasses.
Jesus.
It's pretty frightening.
Christ, don't do that.
Yeah. It's,
any more questions, wise ass?
This is John Hazard.
Okay.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
John Hazard says, well, maybe I shouldn't. Well, that was worth the wait for me, smiley faced, because we already talked about him. So he was responding back that he's glad to have been mentioned.
Okay.
And he says, and my nickname is totally the Lonely John Hazard. Love it, thanks. So that's what we designated him, the Lonely
John Hazard.
Why did we do that? That sounds awful. That's
because he was alone on his birthday.
Oh, that's right.
And we felt really bad.
Yeah. Nah, I don't feel so bad.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I got over it really.
I don't really care about my birthday.
I don't either. I don't make a big deal about it. I know some people, it's like, oh, it's my birthday week. And like, what are you, 6?
Birthday month, yeah.
What are you, fucking 6? Get over it.
Yeah, and then there's the milestone birthdays, which I sort of get. Like, at some point you should celebrate a person for whatever reason, and absolutely do these milestone birthdays. But I think it's funny that I had one of these right in the middle of not in the middle, right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, oh, great, now nobody's going to even notice. And no one noticed.
Well, my 50th, too, I chose not to do anything.
Yeah, who cares?
I bought a dog, sort of as a birthday present to myself, because I, honest to God, didn't think I would live to see 50.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Just your whole life? Or
no, well, I mean,
or
you have heart issues at age 27. I just thought, you know what? I'm probably not going to make it that far.
You and Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
People will remember she passed
away about a month ago.
Yeah. Yesterday, or no, it was 2 days.
It was 2 days ago, but by the time you're listening to the sound of my voice, it was over a month ago.
We can only hope that you've passed away by then. People will be listening to your ghostly voice.
Yeah, from beyond.
And I can then take this audio and edit it. At the end, it'll just be my rant about how you got vaccinated. And
that's what killed me.
That's what killed you. Yeah. Don't give in and do the vax like they tell you to, everybody. It's a lot of strange...
Oh, dear.
Just looking at your face, you're like, is this guy...
No, I know.
I'm going to throw this son of a bitch out of my... Yes, you should throw me out of your house.
I know where you stand, but I'm just trying to figure out how to...
I mean, they're saying it about it. Did you see, similarly, about a month ago, Adam Rich died?
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
I did not.
You didn't know,
idea.
Or you don't know?
Well,
does everybody know?
My friends...
The kid from 8 is Enough. I loved him as a kid.
I never watched it, so I don't know.
Oh, well, I was a kid.
Yeah,
you were in college, probably.
No, but I mean, I was in senior high by then, probably. It had better things to do.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
better shows to watch.
That other kid, his brother Willie Ames.
Yeah.
Does Christian. He's
superhero.
He's
Captain God or something like that.
Captain God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
With his, his sidekick, Super Jesus.
Yeah. Super Jesus and Captain God.
Yep.
Everybody knows those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yep.
Inspired by Batman.
Some would say.
I know that's what he does. He's so far off my radar that...
Yeah, he's
as apparently was
further off
Adam Rich,
my radar than
never
Scott
heard of
Baio.
Oh, yeah.
His buddy from Charles in
yeah.
Charge, which I also didn't watch.
No, I didn't either. Never saw it. Yeah, my friends Chris and Corey and I do sort of a celebrity death watch. So whenever there's one, we try to be the first to post it on our message thing. And
Wow,
I believe
that's
Chris.
gruesome.
I believe Chris posted Adam Riches and made some comment. And I'm like, I have no fucking idea who that is. Never heard of him.
Yeah, I mean, he was a
He peaked
great
as
success as a 9-year-old in 1980.
Yeah, and then that was the end
and
of
then
it.
disappeared. By
Okay.
81, everybody'd forgotten all
Yeah,
about it.
I'd never heard of him in my entire life. No offense to the Rich family. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Well, as
not-
I said, I was a fan. So
Okay.
no offense taken.
Was that the show that Christy McNichol was on? She was on some show
Maybe.
with a family, and
I know Dick Van Patten was the dad.
yeah, and that could have had something to do with why I never watched it.
There are a lot of TV dads around that time period. So you got
Mm-hmm.
your Carol O'Connor, who is a phenomenal talent, in my personal opinion. And
Mm-hmm. Well, if he
and-
can be so convincing as a right-wing asshole when he is about as far left, Rob Reiner said, yeah, he's even more liberal than I am.
Yeah, I didn't know that about
Yeah.
him, but I didn't. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But also that to make that character amazingly likable.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a huge part of that is the writing, obviously.
Well, clearly.
But Carol O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor. Anybody, who was it supposed to be? It was supposed to be like Mickey Rooney.
Oh,
and that would have
God.
been absolutely disastrous.
Yeah. Now I forgot. Oh, that's where I was going to go with it was. So then you just get generic TV dad after that. Like that's to me the big TV dad. And then yeah, 8 is
Carol
Enough
O'Connor.
has Dick Van Patten.
Who's invisible.
Who cares? He might as well be invisible.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way about Tom Bosley as well.
Yeah. I mean, I watched Happy Days maybe the first year and a half or so, and it started to look
And
more
then it
and more
jumped the
like
shark?
Yeah,
You're gonna make that one?
literally. And it
That's like way down the road though.
apparently, according to Gary Marshall, he said it was in the second season.
That he jumped the shark?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Could be.
I just got bored with it. It
Yeah.
became the Fonzie show, and I just kind of got bored.
Yeah, the Fonzie thing is strange. It's a strange phenomenon.
Yeah.
He became a big star, and so that's sort of what the show became.
Yep.
And then it made it easier for people like Ron Howard to go, I got time for this shit.
Fuck this shit. I'm gonna have a real career.
And now he's had a renaissance. Have you seen the show Barry?
Yeah, I've
It's
seen.
fantastic, and
I've not
he's
seen all of it,
fantastic.
but yeah, I thought he was fantastic on Arrested Development.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, he was outstanding.
And they replaced him with Bob Loblaw.
Yeah, Scott Baio, which I thought was funny.
It was a very in joke.
Yeah.
And then
but Scott Baio's a dick, but
my favorite maybe would be there was one point where somebody made some comment about I've lost my mind. What's the name of the little kid on the Andy Griffith show?
Opie.
He made some comment about Opie, and then the,
And then
announcer
the
says
narrator is like,
the so and so should keep his mouth shut or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah, should
yeah.
watch what he says or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Because the announcer, of course,
was
everybody
Ron
remembers,
Howard.
is Henry Winkler. Just kidding. It's Ron Howard.
Ronnie Howard.
Ronnie Howard. Do you know that his daughter is one of the co-stars of the Jurassic
Yes,
Park
I do.
franchise?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard. What a name.
I think it's something to do with like the street and town in which she was conceived, something like that. I'm not kidding. I'm honest to God. I believe that's what it is.
All right.
And why
How
not?
boring and fucked up is your marriage that you know when someone was conceived? Like, what?
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's
a
like-
bad sign. Am I
It's like-
wrong?
yeah, no, you're not wrong. No, I couldn't tell you the circumstances under which mine were.
Hooray! I'm proud of you.
Because it was a fairly common occurrence. You'd think.
Well, I don't know. I guess it
Maybe
depends.
not so much
I
in
guess
that-
it depends.
Not so much in the Howard household. I guess.
Maybe not. Yeah.
So we've devolved.
Why don't we
into-
go to Dallas and see if we can conceive a child?
find Bryce Avenue or Street or whatever?
That'll be a perfect place to conceive.
Good luck.
All right, and that's the end. Follow us. Hey, if you could do me a favor, just at least just go to Patreon.
Do Bill a solid.
And just for shits and giggles, tell you what. Let's have a what do they call it? God damn it! This is simple. I lose words a lot. This podcast.
You're just so
getting
intimidated by me that
that's what it is.
Yeah.
No, I'll say pledge drive.
Oh, sure.
We should have
Okay.
a pledge
Yeah, we
drive. Should we? Let's have this
set a
week is
goal.
our pledge drive.
Set a goal.
We want one Patreon.
Yeah,
Just one.
yeah.
And we're not. You don't get anything special. We'll name you.
We'll mention your name on
We'll
the air.
mention your Patreon name.
We used to mention all.
Yeah, we did. We should try that.
We should do that again.
My greatest wish for this week, February, whatever, is that someone will sign up for Patreon and sign up for our Patreon. Please, not just sign up for Patreon.
Just the 24th of February.
This week, the 24th through the, I guess it'd be like the 2nd.
The 3rd.
3rd. How many days are in February? Just kidding. And their name will be something like Dick Balls Fuck Penis. It's something, so we have to say it out loud.
Oh, you just did, so it's really not.
It really doesn't matter. Yeah, there's no way.
There's nothing.
Send
clearly,
a message saying,
there's nothing we won't say out loud. So
I don't know. Probably put something racist in there. We wouldn't say it.
Yeah, that's.
We
true.
would summarize it. We'd be like, thank you. First name is clearly anti-Semitic. Last name
clearly racist.
Is offensive in a way that I can't even explain the reason.
Beyond all human comprehension.
Fucking Koberger signs up. Let's get Brett. Is it Brett Koberger? Do you have any idea who that is?
Yeah, well, we just talked about him
recently.
Know.
Is that his name?
It's something like that.
Just, follow us on Patreon. But